Hello!
What's up, everybody? We are back. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. YouTube channel, SSP Adventures. Yeah, tune in. We're doing things. Things are happening. Things did happen. That's why we have been absent.
Things definitely happen. So if you guys don't know, we just relocated 800 miles away. We lived in New Jersey our whole lives. Both of us were raised there. And we have been trying for years to get out. So, long story short, he got an email saying that he was being transferred for work.
Now, this before we go any further, I have to reiterate that this was by choice.
Yes.
I applied for a position, and I did not know if I was going to get it. I had no idea whether they were going to say, like, all right, you have to wait, or there's a waiting period, or whatever. So, moving forward.
Moving forward. Oh, anyway, moving forward.
Neither one of us has had a drink today either. And I'm already moving. So, let's move on, shall we?
Okay. I'm moving. So, he got an email saying that if he accepted a new position, he had to be in Georgia. That's where the transfer was to, in 45 days. Well, actually, they told you 2 weeks, and then he called to find out if he could extend that because he has a wife and 4 kids and a house and all that stuff.
Yep.
So,
things.
We talked, they figured it out, they extended it. So he accepted the position. That weekend, it was, I believe, the end of June. We listed our house.
Yes, it was.
On a Monday. And our house sold in 2 days. We went under contract in 2 days. And we...
Shout out to the New Jersey real estate market being slim pickings for nice houses.
And land, because there's no land in Jersey. So 2 days under contract. We... had 30 days to get out, and
that turned our life into a whirlwind. I mean, completely upside down. Every waking moment was spent cleaning, emptying, packing, moving,
throwing stuff out,
donating away. Not to mention, guys, especially you guys that have been following the bus build, we had a bus that needed to be roadworthy by the time we had to be out of the house.
Yes. So we worked on the bus. We cleaned out our house. If you don't know, the house in New Jersey we bought was, we assumed the clean out of the house. So we not only had to get all our stuff out, but we had to get rid of the rest of the stuff from those people. We had been working on 3 years of getting rid of that stuff, but there was still stuff there. So 30 days to get all that stuff out. We ended up having... the settlement pushed back like a week, I think.
Yeah, it was only a week.
Helped a lot, though. And then we went to settlement on August 3rd, and he left for Georgia August 1st.
No,
July 29th or something. I don't know.
28th.
July 28th, he left. And so he signed the papers before, and then I signed them actually at settlement. Anyway, so from the end of June to the end of July, we basically worked our butts off, got rid of everything, and then he signed papers, and he left for Georgia.
Correct.
So after he left, I went to settlement, and he was doing his thing.
Delaware! Maryland!
Welcome to Maryland.
I just said it. I hope you guys heard that in the video. Yeah, welcome to Maryland. Okay, so we got one Jersey down, Delaware down. Maryland shouldn't be too long for this. And then we'll be in Virginia. Virginia! No, we were just in D.C., but I had to say D.C. So now it's Virginia! Ah! Yo, yo, yo! North Carolina! Still going strong. Carolina. Bang. Guys, you probably can't see me, but Georgia! It's 10 o'clock p.m. So after the trip down to Georgia, I bounced around a little bit. I got down here, and the very first thing we had to do is we saw a house, and we made an offer on the house. And guys, we made an offer on a house sight unseen, aside from pictures.
We actually did that like 3 times.
All right, look, we're not proud of our decisions, all right? But we also traveled down to the Atlanta area a bunch of times in the meantime, too. So that's one thing we left out. We were flying back and forth looking at houses and properties. Right.
We flew down.
Yeah. So, and we're flying back and forth now. Big shout out to our realtor, Bill. Bill is the man. Seriously. Dude put up with so much crap from us. I mean, he probably hates us to death now, but he did.
Speaking of, I have to give him a review.
Yeah, probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
But he was awesome. Good dude. So, anyway, so I got down here. I stayed at a hotel. I drove all the way down, which you know already. And I stayed at a hotel first 2 nights. I got myself squared away. Now, the day after I got here, I had to be up early and meet our building inspector at the house that we are currently in right now. And that was the very first time I got to see this house in person. Lauren still had not seen this house, and she was trusting me completely blindly. Hey, look, her judgment's as bad as mine sometimes, okay? Even though she's usually the better of the two. She trusted me completely blindly. I came down here, and I made the decision to go through with the purchase of the house. Need a couple little repairs. They took care of it. Obviously, it needed more repairs than we knew, and that is just part of being a homeowner.
They're not that bad, but
it's not that bad.
When you move in and your air conditioner breaks the next day, you get pretty mad. But luckily, we had a home warranty, so they fixed it.
Yeah,
but
home warranty is great.
Anyway.
So I ended up staying in the hotel. I left the hotel. I met a couple of my riding buddies down here. Kent Shelley and now Kim Shelley, another part of the story there. Steven Stickles and Marjorie. And we went out to dinner, and I ended up crashing at the Stickles residence that night. And then from there on, I stayed at my friend Kent's house with Kim.
But you forgot the best part of the story. So we booked him an extended stay before he got down here. He got there. Did you go there? No, he didn't even get there. He read the review when he got down here.
The review basically named every cockroach in the county.
The reviews,
yeah,
more
reviews.
Than one. So we decided that was a no-go. So
yeah.
We canceled. And then we decided to do an Airbnb.
Right? Airbnbs have great reviews most of the time.
Yeah, every review was perfect on this Airbnb. Super host. They answered me. They were great to talk to. And then JT had to... Sorry, the kids.
I know.
JT had to drive through...
So, I don't know. We didn't know anything about this area. The Atlanta area is so mixed as far as what you get down here. And everybody really... I haven't had too many problems with people in general. But areas, they're like night and day. I mean, within like 2-3 miles of where you may be. And it may be beautiful and awesome. And then 2 miles down the road... you really should be carrying a handgun and locking your doors. And that is unfortunate, but it's the reality of where we live now. Not now, but where we were, where I was at the time. I'm moving, okay? I'm trying to move on. So yeah, so we got this Airbnb, which was actually a camper. And I didn't have a problem with the camper. I don't mind staying in a camper. We like camping. So when I got off the highway, I pulled up to this one light. First of all, I went to Walmart and I had to get some food because I figured I was staying in my own place and needed to get some stuff to put in the fridge, which I did. I was openly threatened in the Walmart that I was at, which was in Decatur, Georgia. Remember that, guys. Remember Decatur. So I was openly threatened in Decatur. Somebody told me that I needed to get out of there, and if I did not, the physical harm would befall me. That is the gist of it. I paid for my goods, and I went on my way. Then I decided I was going to head to the Airbnb and start unloading and everything else. So on my way there, the very first thing I saw was the traffic light I came to. There was a gentleman with two 40s in his lap in a wheelchair parked in the turn lane of the main road. All right, this should have been a sign, right? I mean, I should have just kind of walked away and been like, you know what? Let's not even do this. So nothing against him. I mean, he was using hand signals. That's a given. And so we started moving along, and I started driving down the road. Now, the road I drove down wasn't too bad. It was actually being built up. It wasn't the greatest area in the world, but you could tell they were adding things. No big deal. So then I got about a mile down the road, and I started seeing bars on windows. And then another half mile down the road, there was bars on doors and windows. Another half mile down the road, there was people driving lawn tractors up and down the sidewalks, which I'm not 100% sure is a valid form of transportation, but this is legit. This is actually my experience. Then I got to where the Airbnb was. Now, the side street that it was on, given it was clean, there wasn't anything inherently dangerous, but we're talking like boarded up houses. It was on a dead end cul-de-sac type deal. And I just did not feel comfortable there because, like, I drove down the street and people are like looking at their, at their blinds at me, like, who is this person and are they going to shoot up the neighborhood? That's how I felt. And I was exhausted too at the time. So, my nerves are shot and I was without my family and I just didn't have a place to go and it sucked. So I get there, I call Lauren. I tell Lauren, I do not feel comfortable with this. She says, then you need to leave. I said, I'll talk to the guy. The guy was okay, and I say okay, I'm not going to slam the host at all. So I stayed at the Airbnb that one night. Mm-hmm. And then I went to work the next day, and I told the guys where I was staying, and every one of their eyes were like saucers. And I said, what is wrong? They said, I am survived, that you made it out. Yeah. So
I'm survived?
Hmm?
I'm survived?
Did I say survived? I meant surprised that you made it out. I'm surprised that you survived. I'm survived. I will surprise. No, that was where survive was supposed to be.
So he went back and got his stuff and got the heck out of Dodge, and you went to a hotel, right?
No.
I don't remember. Did you? Oh, that's right.
I went back to my buddy Kent's house.
That's right. I forgot.
I drove all the way from Decatur back to Woodstock. Look it up on a map. It's over an hour away. So I got a move on, and I headed back to Woodstock, and I ended up staying there with Kent and Kim have become such good friends of mine, even though we were basically mild or good acquaintances at the time, but we're really good friends now because of that whole thing. Yeah. I ended up staying there until I closed on the house down here.
So thank you, you two.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, so that brings us to closing on the house. I moved in, slept on a cot for a night. The very next day, got on a plane and flew back to New Jersey.
Now, in this whole time period, while he's in Ken and Kim's house, I stayed at my parents' house with 2 dogs, 4 kids, and
2 rabbits,
2 bunnies, and
in a 26-foot camper.
It's only 22 foot.
22-foot camper.
But we kind of just slept in the camper just to have our own space. And it was very nice of them to have us, because that's a lot of people to add into your daily life. So we stayed there. So that was for a month. JT flew up August 25th, Tuesday, after staying here. And so now we're on to the part where JT flies back to New Jersey and gets all of us.
Haven't made a video in a month. Haven't shot anything. What a month. What a month. What a month. Well, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. We are in Oxford, Georgia. It just so happens to be where our new house is. Is this the shameless plug for a dirt bike channel? Possibly. But I follow it and I love dirt bikes, so it just is what it is. But yeah, first morning in the new house. I'm by myself. It's very, very loud and echoey here because there's nothing here. There's no one here. But it is nice to wake up in my own space, which I haven't at all in the last month. But yeah, so today's a big day. I get to fly back to Jersey. I get to see my family, and I feel like I'm being released from prison almost. And then we get to drive down here and start living our life here. I'm sorry about the crazy hair. I haven't had it cut in a really long time. So I'm just very, very excited, and I'm super stoked. Uber's going to be here in about an hour, so I got some stuff to do to get ready to rock and roll. And then we'll be flying back, and we're going to fly back, and then the circus is leaving town. We got to pack the bus. We got to pack Big Martha, and we have to pack a U-Haul truck and load our trailer and pack up some kids and some animals, 2 dogs, 2 bunnies, and yeah, and we're headed down here. So I'm very excited, and we hope to be filming lots of crazy adventures down here. So thanks, guys. See you soon.
All right, so
back in New Jersey. Not now. Right now, we're in Oxford, Georgia. Yeah. But flew back to New Jersey, got there, mad dash to get everything that we own everywhere. So I know everywhere. I say everywhere, but we had so much stuff moved around. We had 3 storage units. Mm-hmm. We had to get...
Shout out to Stowaway Storage.
Stowaway Storage. Miss Renee, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your help. We rented the biggest U-Haul truck they have is 26-footer straight truck. We loaded said U-Haul truck. Now, Big Martha, meanwhile, was already loaded partially, yeah, I say partially, with our goods, which we actually had to take the bus and load it the rest of the way. Now, that thing... The living quarters, 22 feet long, 7.5 feet wide, 6 feet tall. And that was full floor to ceiling with our stuff.
All the important stuff.
All the important stuff. Yeah. Which
mattresses.
We're going to get to where that goes in a minute.
Dishes,
here.
Everything you need to move into a house. Like
right.
Your essentials.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Lauren's Uncle Eddie, thank you. First of all, thank you so much. Drove our U-Haul truck down here for us, which he is a career mover. He said, I love that trip. It's beautiful down there. I would love to take that trip and see you guys' new
Shout
house.
out to Sinclair Moving.
Sinclair Moving and Storage. Yeah. So he drove our U-Haul truck down, which is why we put all the essentials in the school bus, because the school bus and the excursion, Lauren was pulling our trailer with the excursion. I was driving the school bus. We only had 1 seat in it in order to get it roadworthy in time. And it was packed to the gills already. So I didn't necessarily want to tow with something that was unproven. Good thing I didn't. So Uncle Eddie left the day after we left with the U-Haul truck.
We left on Thursday, the 27th.
Was it Thursday, the 27th?
Yeah, because you got there Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Thursday morning. Mm-hmm. So we left Thursday morning, the 27th. We got on the road. We made it to North Carolina without anything catching fire.
The kids were starting to get restless, but they were good. Everybody was good. We were 6 hours into our trip.
Yeah, 6 hours in. And then it did catch fire.
So we're driving, and we had walkie-talkies, so we didn't have to use our phone or anything. We just grabbed the button and say, hey, I need whatever, or we're going to go left, or we're going right. Not that we did that on the highway, but anyway, so he calls me on the walkie-talkie. I guess that's what it's called. And says, something just happened. And I'm like, Okay, what does that mean?
I felt like I was losing a little bit of power in the bus, and I wasn't 100% sure what had happened because it wasn't an engine failure and it wasn't a transmission failure.
All its gauges were fine.
Yeah, everything was solid, and I mean, I pay attention to stuff like that religiously because that's just who I am. I'm a mechanic, and I pay attention to stuff.
So I smelled something.
Yeah,
I
feel something. A
big truck had just driven by, and I was like, well, it kind of like faded away once he drove by. So I said, well, I'll keep an eye out for anything, you know, I'll look for stuff or see, you know, flying parts or I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So what did we go? Like another...
About a mile. 2 miles tops.
2 miles.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden...
I saw smoke out my mirror and I realized that it was me. So I said, hey, look, I'm going to pull over.
I'm pretty sure I called you and said, there's smoke coming out. You need to pull over.
I'm also pretty sure that we were talking over each other at this point.
I called him. So he pulls off. I'm screaming in the walkie-talkie, fire, you're on fire. And he comes running out of the bus, I'm on fire. Like, I know, but you're not going to help anything.
Ricky Bobby moment. I should have rolled around on the side of the road. I'm on fire. But I did not do that.
So I said, go get the fire extinguisher. He runs back to the bus, runs back to me and says, I can't find it.
Because there's no fire extinguisher.
Guess where the fire extinguisher was? In the U-Haul! So yeah, it was in the U-Haul. So he goes, I start throwing him bottles of water because I had a case of water in the truck for us to drink. I'm throwing them to him. He goes out, he's dumping it on the wheel.
Yeah, first of all, what was on fire was actually the rear driver's side hub assembly was on fire. We had a catastrophic wheel bearing failure. That's what I felt let go, and that's why I felt like I was losing power. And in the space of that 2 miles, it actually welded the hub to the stub of the axle tube itself. And then basically the seal was gone. It cooked the seal out of it. The gear oil was actually starting to boil, and that is what caught fire. So I had gear oil flaming, the entire inside of the wheel well is on fire. Meanwhile, our bus is stuffed with all of our essential goods.
Yes. So.
Freak out, complete.
He's trying to get the wheel off. You know, I'm grabbing water. The kids, he's at the bus dumping water on the wheel. So then I see the dude run around the other side, go up to the bus, look for something. I don't know what he was looking for. And then he runs back. He slides under the bus like he was running into home plate. Like I never seen him do anything like that in my life. So as he's under there, I'm like, what do I do? He's like, just keep bringing me the water. So the kids are throwing the water bottles out the window and I'm catching them and then I'm throwing them.
Yeah, and I'm catching them under the bus.
I'm cracking them open and throwing them because we can't see anything. So finally, I don't even know. I think I had 4 bottles of water left out of the case.
Yeah, we wasted a lot because without a fire extinguisher, putting out an oil fire is very, very difficult to do.
But we did it.
Got done. Right on.
So.
Yeah, so we put the fire out.
We called AAA. They don't work with school buses.
Right. We have AAA. We actually have the best AAA that we can possibly have because we were stuck in a position where we needed it before.
Yeah. So they don't do buses. So we didn't want to pay who knows how much money to get a bus towed off of 95.
Right.
So he says, I think I can limp it. So we limped to the next exit.
That's right. If you've never seen me limp, I'm a master limper.
So I was panicking because 95 is crazy. So we get off 95. And then...
in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Is that where we were?
Yeah.
The first one? I thought then we limped to the gas station. Or is that where the gas station
We limped all over North Carolina.
Oh, no. We did. We limped to the gas station. Yeah. And we found a hotel. My girlfriend, Jasmine, shout out to Jasmine, gave us the area and the nice hotel to stay in. That would take, and they took dogs, thankfully, because now we got 2 bunnies, 2 dogs, and 4 kids.
Yeah.
So that was how many miles from the gas station?
It was only like 10 miles.
So
15 miles maybe.
No, I don't think it was that far. But we limped it from the gas station to the hotel.
Yeah.
Crashed at the hotel and found out that
there is an international dealer that's only 10, 12 minutes down the road from the hotel we were staying at. Now our bus is international. So...
thank God.
Yeah.
He provided the water for the fire. He provided the gas station that was not far off the 95. And
he provided some sick sliding skills.
The hotel and the international. And then there's another thing he provided, but we'll talk about that probably in another video because this video is really long.
True.
But, so we stayed at the hotel. He took it to the dealer in the morning. They were super nice. They let him use their truck to come back to have breakfast with all of us. And then we waited.
The entire day.
We waited the entire day, which we really didn't want to, but we had to. And we made it. We made an executive decision to leave the bus there because it was going to take more than a day to fix it. So we said, we'll just leave it and we'll figure it out later.
Yep.
So we rearranged everything in the excursion.
There's no room for me to begin with. None.
Because we have bunnies in a cage, dogs, clothes, all the stuff that we needed just on our backs. And kids. So...
not to mention, we're still pulling a trailer with all our toys on.
Yes.
Which was massively overloaded for what that trailer is capable of.
Yeah.
So that was what we were expecting to fail next. Thank you, Lord, it did not.
No. And so we ended up putting suitcases in the side-by-side buckled into the 5-point harness because there was literally not another inch to spare.
No.
So we drove and we got to our house at
midnight.
12:30.
Yeah. 12:30.
Oh, and all of this happened on our 16th wedding anniversary on Friday.
Yeah.
So we got to go to Denny's twice for our celebratory breakfast and dinner.
Shout out to Denny's for having the best gluten-free English muffins that I have ever tasted, period. Hands down. Okay, that's the end of the shout out to Denny's.
The waitresses were very nice.
Yeah, they were.
So then we got to our house at 12:30.
Welcomed by Uncle Eddie, who was in our living room.
And he beat us here. The poor guy was in our house.
For a day.
By himself. For, I don't know, like at least 12 hours.
Yeah.
With nothing. Thankfully, we had electric and
a
cot, because JT stayed here one night. So he could get rest. And so I think we're going to call it quits on that video. And then we will come back and we'll talk about being here and all that stuff. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.